Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. I know I'm late on this one, but I want to go ahead and add my 2 cents to this. First things first, congratulations to Earl Spence. Definitely on the rise. I see a lot of promise in this kid. He's a tremendous talent, very good boxer, has great ability, especially a southpaw. Who's very ferocious with his body punching, and he throws a lot of mustard in the punches, and he can use his distance. He has a long jab. He can use his range very, very well. Now, this fight with him and Leonard Bundu was the final eliminator for the IBF welterweight title. The champion, of course, is Kell Brook. Obviously, he's tied up right now to face the middleweight unified champion Gennady Golovkin in less than a few weeks. So yeah, that fight's definitely on its way. So actually, yeah, it's about a couple weeks. Yeah, about a couple weeks away. So, well, I don't know, about 3 weeks away. So anyhow, Spence actually improved much better with defensive wise because, oh, excuse me, I sneeze there, guys. Spence, if you want to, identify one of his flaws is that he tends to keep himself extremely wide open when he's throwing his power shots in the inside, especially with his body punching combination. He keeps himself open, and being open for counter hooks to the head. So, in this particular fight, he was able to keep a high guard and keep his range a little bit more, and not be too reckless coming inside. Like he usually displayed in his previous fights. So definitely improvement there, and he just pretty much controlled the entire fight. I couldn't. You can be honest. I have to be honest. You couldn't even give Bundu one round in this fight, not one. And Bundu, he hasn't been knocked out before. His sole loss on his record at that point was against Keith Thurman. He got put down early in that fight in the first round, and Bundu I mean, not Bundu, Spence, he used this, he confused Bundu with his range, with his long jab, and his southpaw stance, and his powers also had an effect on him too, because there was, many occasions in this fight that Spence was backing Bundu up, and that's unusual because he's typically a come forward pressure fighter, and he was just bothered by that long reach and power. In the combination punching from from Spence. So what he tried to do is at least try to confuse Spence with switching orthodox back to southpaw in the middle of the rounds, but that clearly had no effect to Spence's game. He didn't buckle in that situation. So it goes to show if he ever wants to fight Keith Thurman's going to have to learn that he can't confuse the kid like that because he'll be ready for it. But who knows? Keith Thurman obviously is a much better qualified fighter than Leonard Bundu, so maybe he can use that tactic much more effectively. He does use it more effectively than Leonard Bundu, so we'll see. Once that fight ever gets made, and obviously it will get made down the road. So looking forward to it. Um, but anyhow, Spence, he ferociously knocked out Bundu in the sixth round. Becoming the only guy to ever knock him out, stop him. So Jesus, he was out for a good maybe about minute and a half. So yeah, but the good news is Bundu regained consciousness a little bit. He was okay. So congratulations to Spence. He's actually the number one mandatory challenger for the IBF title. And to share some other news to that as well, the report just came out. According to Boxing Scene, shout out to them by the way, via LA Times. Spence in the Bundu fight drew 6 million views. Wow, breaking the BBC's television record. I think the previous record was held by was it by Spence? Because I think Spence, and according to the report, Spence actually tripled that. Did he triple or he doubled it? I think he doubled it when he last fought Chris Algieri prior to the Bundu fight. So yeah, let me look in that here. Yeah, he roughly tripled. Okay, so he didn't really. Well, he broke his own record, obviously, but the actual PBC record was recently held by Keith Thurman and Sean Porter when their fight came on CBS Showtime. Well, yeah, CBS Showtime. So, well, actually, it's CBS. It's Showtime promoted, but anyway, they're the same the parent companies. But yeah, that broke the PBC record that was held recently by those guys. So yeah, that's to me is which everyone should come to the conclusion, which a consensus would say that Spence is definitely on the rise, man. He's probably the most fighter, probably the guy to watch in the United States right now, as far as being a star fighter. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What the future holds before him. So very happy for him. Now it's time for him to get in there against the likes of Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. Um, who else is out there? Other than that, Sammy Vasquez Jr. I know Sammy Vasquez is coming off a loss. There was some interest of making that fight happen, a while back while these guys were still, in the prospect stages. But apparently, now that there's no interest of that fight right now. So Vasquez is going to have to bounce back and get a couple wins to make, to get the get the public to be interested in that fight. To be made down the road. So, or Lamont Peterson, I forgot to mention him because I know he's fighting at 147 now. So that could be a good fight to be made. So there are some options for Spence. I know he is the mandatory challenger now to Kell Brook's title, IBF title. But, however, Kell Brook is expected to vacate that title after the Golovkin fight, and I know some of you may not be aware of this, but prior to Brook had announced that he was going to fight Golovkin for the middleweight titles, Eddie Hearn came out and said that Kell Brook will more likely move up in weight eventually. So, which sparked a little bit of outrage in the YTBC, given the fact that Brook hasn't really fought top level competition other than Sean Porter while he's been champion. So that sparked a little disappointment when that news had came about before the Golovkin fight got announced. So even if he loses to Gennady Golovkin, he's not going. He is going to vacate that title, which is expected according to his report here, and he's going to move up to 154. Or if he does somehow beat Golovkin, which I don't see happening, he might stay in the middleweight division. Who knows? Yeah, congratulations to Errol Spence and a record-breaking, TV views of 6 million. So, viewers. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Who do you like to see Spence fight next? Other than the fact that, he is supposed to fight Kell Brook. Like I mentioned, that fight more likely is not going to happen given the fact that Brook may vacate that title, which is he's expected to. So, yeah, drop a comments below and let me know what you think. Care to comment, share, subscribe. Signing off. Peace.